Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be a review on a new product that just came out in Australia just a couple weeks ago. So I've been testing it out for you for the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to be giving you a full review, my whole opinion on this product, how it's lasted, what I think of it, whether it's worth purchasing or not. So if you want to find out what I think about it, just keep watching. So the product I'm going to be reviewing today is the Maybelline Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation. I know that the US has had this foundation for, I think it's a while now, but it recently just got launched in Australia and I was so excited when I saw it on the shelves. So I immediately wanted to try this out and let you guys know if it was worth the price. It retails for about $21.95 at Priceline. However, when I purchased this one, I got it for about $15.50 at Woolworths, but I believe that must have been some sort of sale that was going on with Maybelline, because I haven't seen it for that price anywhere else, and I haven't seen it for that price at Woolworths since, so there must have been some Maybelline sale that was going on. I just want to read to you what it says on the website about the product. This breakthrough texture fuses with skin, a finish so impeccable yet undetectable, exclusive dropper, medium to full coverage, ideal for normal skin. This comes in 12 shades. The shade that I got is 20 Classic Ivory, which when I purchased it I thought was the lightest shade. But there is an ivory and there is a porcelain ivory, which is the lightest shade. As far as the packaging goes, I really like the packaging. I think it's really cute and it's something different. It's not just, you know, like a square bottle or anything traditional. I love how they've kept it simple too, you know, it's just the basic like light beige colour. It's nothing fancy, and it comes this little teardrop shaped tip. It's not like a squeeze or anything like that. It is a very liquidy formula. If you try the L'Oreal Magic Nude liquid foundation, which I've also reviewed, it's that same sort of concept. This one comes with an SPF of 20 and this is only 0.67 fluid ounces, which is only 20 mils, so you're not getting your basic 1 fluid ounce foundation, which is kind of irritating considering you're paying $20 for a foundation. So I'm not really happy about that point, that you actually don't get a 1 fluid ounce foundation, because most foundations that you get are 1 fluid ounce. So you do get a lot less product for the price that you're paying. As far as the concept of the whole thing goes, I'm not really a fan of this whole dropper thing. It just makes it really messy and annoying to apply to the skin. I'm not a fan of it. I basically just use a stick to smear it on my skin. You can just shake it up and put a little bit on your fingers and dab it on your face that way, but I just find that's too messy, and this way it's quicker and it's sort of easier for the options that I have to put this product on my skin. I don't really want to pour it into a container and then put it on my skin, because it's just going to waste a lot of product. As far as coverage goes, I can get a really good medium to an almost full coverage out of this. I usually apply around 2 layers and that gives me a really good, almost close to absolutely full coverage, but I do have a few blemishes and a few freckles that still show. This blends into the skin really easily, it's really quick to use. It, you know, it can get messy. If you get it anywhere on your clothes, it's going to stain it. It's kind of impossible to get out. So as far as the packaging, they really should make a pump for these type of liquidy foundations, because it's not sanitary. The fact that I'm actually using this little dropper thing to apply this to my skin and then putting it back in is not really sanitary. I prefer a pump. I don't care what kind of foundation you want to make. I don't care if you want to be different. Put a pump with it. Everyone loves a pump. Nobody likes to just apply things to their face with a stick. I do feel like this oxidizes, and it doesn't necessarily go orange, it just goes that little bit darker throughout the day. It's nothing really noticeable, but I do feel like if you have a sort of really orangey bronzer on, it's really going to accentuate that and make it look very unnatural. Throughout the day, this lasts impeccably well. I've worn it from, let's say, like 7 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. You can get a good 6 to 8 hours out of this with it looking really nice. I feel like this foundation looks really nice as it goes throughout the day. It does make your skin look really flawless and just really soft looking. It's nothing too heavy or too cakey on the skin. After about 8 hours or so, it does tend to start looking a little bit patchy. I noticed that around, mainly the oily spots on my face, around my chin, it would start to separate and look a little bit blotchy. But the great thing about this is you can just apply some more right on top and it blends in really well. For oily skin girls, I'm an oily skin girl, mainly in my T-zone, and this works really well for me. I do have to blot throughout the day, and I've noticed that with this foundation I don't normally apply a powder all over my face after I've applied a foundation. I sort of just let it to set by itself, and I just use a powder under my eyes to set my concealer. But with this, I feel like I need to powder my entire face so that my bronzer and my blush can go on a little bit easier. I noticed that when applying those, the brush, and it could just be the product as well, but it sort of takes off the foundation throughout the day. I really noticed that the coverage on my cheeks where my blush is really dissipates throughout the day, and it's really annoying because it shows my freckles. So I feel like this foundation doesn't really work exceptionally well when applying bronzer and blush on top of it, which is really a disappointment because I really love how this makes my skin look throughout the day. I love how long it lasts and the coverage that it gives and how lightweight it is. I even tried using the balm staining blushes on top of it, and still that didn't last very well. It was basically just the coverage of the foundation really just completely disappeared throughout the day. I did still have like a little bit of product on my cheeks, but you could clearly see my freckles, and it just didn't look nice at all in my opinion. I did use a primer with this, Rimmel Lasting Finish Primer. It's a primer that I've been using a lot for the past couple of months. It's my second tube. I want to say as well that this doesn't feel like it accentuates my pores a lot, but I do find that I get marks around my sort of frown lines, which I don't normally get from any other foundation. I think I've only had it like once with another foundation, but this really sinks into my fine lines around my mouth area, like when I'm smiling or laughing or something. It really makes it noticeable throughout the day, but with the forehead as well, it really sinks into those lines and you can really see it throughout the day. I do have a photo on Instagram actually when I was wearing this foundation, and I will insert it in a second. You can really see the lines on my forehead, whereas most foundations, you know, they do sort of sink into the lines on my forehead, but not so much make them as visible as this does. So I think for older skin, this might not be the best product for you. I did use a beauty blender, and I use the beauty blender for every foundation that I try. I have not used a brush in a very long time. If you want to see a full review on the beauty blender, I do have a video on that, so I will link that below and somewhere here as well if you want to watch it. So at the end of the day, guys, I really love this foundation. I think this lasts beautifully on the skin. I think it feels great on the skin. It has the SPF in it, so it protects your skin. It makes your skin look very natural and flawless looking. It's not necessarily a dewy finish, but it just looks more natural than anything. It really softens the skin and makes it look really flawless. For normal skin girls, I think you will enjoy this foundation. Just put a little bit of a moisturizer underneath it. This foundation isn't really drying, but I'm oily skin and this lasts very well on me, so for dry skin girls, you might want to put a moisturizer underneath. For oily skin girls, if you're like me and you're really oily in the T-zone, just keep powdering throughout the day and it will last really well. If you're extremely oily, again, just use a mattifying setting spray, use a mattifying primer. Any mattifying products that you have that you can put with this foundation will work really well as long as you keep up with powdering throughout the day as well. The only cons to this product is how it sinks into my fine lines around my skin. I'm only 20, I'm going to be 21 this year, so it's not like I'm extremely old, but it does sort of make me look a bit older. And as well as the coverage fading on my cheeks, that really bothers me a lot. If you want to try this foundation out, I definitely recommend it. Just be wary with the blush and bronzer that it might look a bit patchy if you apply too much, and it might fade throughout the day. As far as cream products go, it really doesn't work well with cream blush at all. I did use a cream bronzer with it and it worked pretty well, but it didn't last as long throughout the day. I think this is a really great, easy to apply, quick as anything foundation. If you want something for a natural day, you can definitely sheer it out and make it look very natural on your skin. But if you're somewhat of a makeup lover and you love having that full-on makeup look, it's just not going to last with this foundation unless you experiment with different products. So I hope you all enjoyed this review. I hope it was helpful for you. Please give it a thumbs up if it was, and don't forget to subscribe to make sure that you get notifications on all my other videos that I upload. I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day as well. Don't forget to check the description box below for any links to videos that I've mentioned in this video, as well as my social media sites, Follow me on Instagram because I always post on there when I have a new video, as well as makeup things and whatnot. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.